Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. As I always say, or ask, say, hopefully you all had a great week. I did. I'm sitting here on Sunday, so I'm blessed. I'm alive. I'm in good health, so I have no real complaints. Um, don't really matter anyway, right? Because nothing's gonna change unless I change it. How I allow things to affect me pretty much controls my life. And so I've learned, and I am still learning, that I can't give it any power. Whatever happens, happens, and then I move on. I respond, and I keep it pushing. But I cannot dwell on what I cannot control. It happened. There was a purpose behind it. I got to get the lesson, and then I move on. And so this past week was full of obstacles, which I believe y'all's were also. But we made it. We're going into a new week. We're going into new blessings, new lessons, new opportunities. And so we have to be prepared for it, get our mind right, because the enemy is always lurking. And outside of that, we're always trying to put ourselves in bad situations also, really. Like if we look at most of everything that happens to us, it's based off our decisions. We get the choice, right? And however we decide, there's a consequence. And again, it goes back to how do I respond to that? So, again, that's a little phrase that I've kind of picked up on over the last few years of my life to realize like why things happen to me. Like, why is this happening to me? And I have to realize that it's happening for me. I just have to make the right choice. If I make the right choice, there's a different ending. No matter what, I'm going to learn because I have to grow. So every test that I go through is helping me. But when you're younger, you think everybody's against you. You think the world's against you. Like, this is the truth. No one cares. No one cares. Like, everybody have their own set of problems, their own set of issues, their own bills. So when I was younger, we'd always say that the person's hating on me. This is the truth. No, they're not. Like, the truth is they're going through their own stuff. They're going through their own issues the same way. I'm not the only one that has problems. I'm not the only one. I'm not the center of the universe that everything revolves around me. That's not the case. Everyone that you meet is dealing with something that you have no idea they're dealing with. Know how I know that? Because you don't tell people your problems. So they have no idea what you're going through. So at any given point in time, you could be at work or with your friends or with your family, and someone's going through something, and a comment is said, and it goes left. And we don't really see why that happens. We just see the result. And truly, we don't even do you ever stop to ask why this person has an outburst or why this person's feeling or acting different? We don't, because we are dealing with our own issues. And so once I realized that I control my space, my sphere, and how I respond to other people affects them and affects myself, then I had to realize like I have to control myself. I have to control the things that go in my life. I have 100% power over that. No matter what the universe does, like, I have a chance to respond. And how I respond is my life. And it could be just my life for that day. That doesn't mean it's going to be my life unless it's a catastrophic decision, with life or death or uh, arrest or something like that, like something illegal. But otherwise, if it's a normal decision every day, like, it affects my day just for that day. I get another day tomorrow if God says the same. And I can't carry yesterday into tomorrow because then it spills. Because guess what? Tomorrow's going to have his own set of problems. And I can't bring in yesterday's problems. Now it's compounded. Now I'm overwhelmed, right? Because I can't deal with today's problems because I'm still focused on yesterday's problems. And Lord help me if I try to control tomorrow. So, like, today is the most important day. That's what I've learned. And get through the task today. Enjoy the rest of the day, right? Did I live by my standard today? If I live by my standard today, then today's a win. I don't ever have to talk about today again. because then when tomorrow comes, that's my new today. And that's how I look at it now. That's how I get through life. That's how I thrive. That's why I'm excited about every day, because every day we get 24 hours. And that's a blessing in itself. Some people don't get that. Some people have other people that have to assist them with things. I don't need that. I don't have that. I'm blessed that that's not going on in my life. And so I thank God for it. And it's the same with us, right? Each week, each day is an opportunity to improve, is an opportunity to glorify God for the 24 hours we have. And one of the biggest things I've been dealing with in my life, right, recently, is like in my profession, I try to get people to essentially chase their dreams, like fully chase their dreams. Like most people say they want things, right, but they don't really know the amount of commitment it is to get it. And my job, my goal, my purpose is to make them understand that. It's to show them that, what it takes, and then see if they choose it. I'm now in that phase of, I think it was Mel Robbins. I think she has a book called Let Them. And it's tough for me because like I've been there before. And you kind of know as you get older, right? You kind of know how life goes. It's not that my experience is going to be their experience, but you try to help them avoid going down the same path. Most human beings are stubborn. I'm stubborn myself. My parents would say that. My family would say that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm all knowing, all wise. No, like I'm stubborn myself. I want to do things my way. That doesn't mean it's always right. Doesn't mean it's always the best way, right? But I'm definitely in that mode, right? That let them. And it surprisingly, it takes a lot of stress off you, because you can't want something for someone more than they want it for themselves. Like we all want everyone to succeed. We want our kids, we want our family members, we want our friends to succeed. But you got to understand, if they don't want it as bad as you want it, you're just going to stress yourself out. That has been the last maybe 10 years of my life. The leading cause of my stress really has been what I pour into other people and trying to push them or pull them to their dreams and goals. And then you step back and you realize like they never really wanted it. They love the idea of it. They love the excitement of it. But once you kind of take a step back, you see that they really had no desire to do that. And the worst part about it, right, is like when you devote yourself to it, you realize that you essentially wasted so much time that you can't get back. And this person, like it's not specifically any one person, like it's just a culmination of years and years and years of this. And so it's very stressful. And so I know people have that because I deal with it. I don't have kids, right? But I know I probably stress my mom and dad out. Like I know I probably stressed my grandparents out, right? Because I didn't listen. And I was one of the kids that if my parents told me, the stove is hot, I had to figure that out. Like no matter what they told me, hey, the stove hot, don't touch it. Like it was part of me that was like I hear what you're saying. And it might have been, I just wanted to see how hot it was, right? Obviously I found out. But that was my whole life. Even up until now, I figured things out by going through things. That's not the wisest thing to do, right? Because sometimes it doesn't work out. But that's just always been my nature. And so now it's insane, right? That's the thing that bothers me the most is that people are trying to figure things out as they go, even if you try to give them guidance. And it's the let them thought process. It's not like giving up on them, but it's like let them deal with what they're going through. Let them do what they want to do, right? You're still there to help them, but you're not pulling them in a direction, right? Because you really don't want them to blame you if it doesn't work out. And so to take the step back and allow them to do what they're doing, even if you know like the outcome, like you help them, but the best thing you can do for them is allow them to learn. Because if you're always there to save them, they'll never be able to handle adversity. I think that's the biggest issue we have now in the world is we have coddled, protected a generation, and the second they become 18, we've kind of like let them go do you. Like the difference is they're not prepared for that. They've lived in a gated community their entire life, right? Then you expect them to go out into the jungle and survive. It's the reason, right? Zoos don't put animals back into wildlife. They will be tortured. They'll be destroyed because they won't be handed anything. They've never fought their entire life in a zoo, and then you think you're just going to put them in a wilderness and they're going to be fine. No, that's not how that works. Their natural habitat is the zoo. It's to be catered to, and that's not a bad thing. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, if that's your life, this is the thing. You have to continue that so that they don't deal with that because they're not going to have a response to it. They're never going to have a response to it. Like, I grew up differently with, siblings. There was four of us total, mom and dad in the house. And we learned different values, right? We wasn't wealthy. We wasn't poor. But we worked for everything. And so that's allowed me, as I gotten, older in my life, like if things became tough, I fell back on the work because that's what I saw from my dad. That's what I saw from my mom. Like education came into the picture later on. My mom and dad went and got their degrees, right? But it wasn't the forefront of my life. The forefront of my life for probably 15, 16 years of my childhood was work. Like I worked in a car wash. I worked with my grandfather's janitorial service. Like I worked at Six Flags. I've worked at IHOP. And so it taught me the value of if I wanted something, you go get it, right? Like it's no reason to complain about it. If I really want it, you make it happen, right, wrong, and different. And so that's all I know. So when I deal with or work with the youth, it's always the same thing. The difference is it's a different era now. Like they have more, like more people have degrees, like more people have financial stability than they did 20, 30 years ago. And I have to adapt to that. And so like all it is you allowing them to deal with what they deal with. You're not casting them away. You're just allowing them to go through things so they can come back to you and they can ask questions instead of being in the forefront and pushing them and forcing them and making them, and they lose the joy and they lose the love for it. And they blame you. Like if they're not successful, it's because you told me to do this or you to like let them deal with what they're dealing with. Still be there for them, but allow them to grow in it. Every lesson, right, is a moment to grow. You're gonna use that information for another time in your life. It might not be tomorrow, it might not be the next week, but you're not getting anything, you're not going through anything without getting something out of it. Get something out of it. Let the pain pay you, right? Like it needs to give you something for tomorrow. It needs to give you something for later on in life, right? That you can help other people. And that's a part of the growth process. And so that's why I love that phrase, let them. Like at first it was just more like me being upset. Like I'm gonna just let them do what they want to do, right? And then you realize like when you have love for people, you want people to succeed. Like you don't want them to fail. You don't want them to fall on their face so you can say, I told you so. Like that doesn't work because no one learns from that. You want to be able to work with someone and help them grow, right? And to the fact that they don't need you anymore. I don't want people to need me 10 years from now because that means essentially I did everything for them. They should be self-sufficient. The tools I give them, the tools that parents give them, the tools life give them should support their self-sufficiency. There are more people in the world that need help. I can't spend my entire life with one or two people. That's not why God gave me the gift. And so that's what people have to understand. That's what I had to understand for myself is that like I didn't create this world. I love that God has given me that gift. I love that God has put me in positions in rooms that I could never dream of, right? But I can't do everything. And I got to be okay with that. You got to understand that. Like I'm not the face of the world. Like there are other people in this world. There are other people dealing with other things, and I'm a small piece of the puzzle. When you realize that about yourself, that yes, you play a key role in the lives of people, but you understand that there are billions of people on this earth, and you're not the center of attention. You humble yourself, then you can avoid a lot of letdowns. But it starts with like truly not trying to be the center of attention, not trying to be the guy in someone's life. Like just help, assist. Don't be the end all be all. Like they're gonna need you, right? But don't ruin that relationship because you want to be right. Let them deal what they deal with. And I know a lot of what she says is about self help, like because you have to take care of yourself. You're stressing yourself out trying to help other people or fighting other people. I think another quote was, when you realize how hard it is to change yourself, you'll understand how insane it is to think you can change someone else. Like I've been working on trying to change a lot of things about myself over the last 2 3 years, over the last 2 3 months, right? And if I can't choose to do that for myself, like if I revert back to my old self, how am I going to change someone else? I'm going to make someone else do something. So you let them do what they're going to do, and then assist them after it if they ask, because you don't want to run yourself dry. You don't want to destroy your own energy trying to force people to do something they really don't want to do. Like all you're doing is hurting yourself, and it's not worth it. I'm not going to lose myself behind something someone really don't want. I want it for them more than they want it for themselves. I can't go out there and do it. And so therefore you got to understand that people go through what they go through for a reason. Like that's God's plan for their life. All you doing is getting in the middle of it. You're making it worse on yourself. And once I realized that, I understood why I deal with what I deal with and why we as human beings deal with what we do. We just want the best for everyone, right? And because of that, we want to help them with that. Sometimes you gotta let them deal with it themselves, and then let them come back to you. It'll be the same thing. Like you don't want anything bad to happen to them, but for it to really work, they have to get a better understanding. And sometimes you gotta burn your hand on the stove to realize that mom and dad wasn't lying. Like mom and dad really want what's best for you. Some people are like that. I definitely was, still am to an extent. But you burn your hand enough, you realize that stove hot, and that you can't do it by yourself. And that's all it is. That's really like controlling what you can control, right? Is how they say it. Um, but taking care of yourself more than anything. Like understanding that you play a role, but they're the main character, right? And you just gotta play your role to the best of your ability. Like it doesn't bother me that I don't care about the main character, right? Like I know I'm the main character for Jesus. Like right, that's all that matters to me. All this earthly, worldly stuff that don't matter anymore. I've realized that it used to. It really used to when I was fruitless. I cared about the opinions. I cared about what people thought. I cared about making people like I don't care about any of that anymore, because it's all gonna wither away. It's all gonna disappear. You can't take it with you. And so once you realize that, I understand that I'm just enjoying what I have. Like I'm making the best of what I have, and everything that I have is a blessing. And once you get to that point, your mental just improves so much. Like no matter what happens today, it happened. I can't do anything about that. Like I'll adjust. Once I adjust, I'm gonna be okay. And just everyday understanding that there might be an adjustment. I just need to prepare my mind for that, right? I'm not focused on it, but there's probably going to be an adjustment need to be made to the schedule, to my decision, right? And I can't let it throw me off whack. I can't let it get me off my pivot, because the most important thing is completing the task. The most important thing is laying my head on the bed at night and saying, "Hey, look, I I, I live by the standard today. That's it, and tomorrow is tomorrow." That's pretty much what becomes of your life, is You just enjoying it. Once you get to the point that you're enjoying it, like you don't want to mess that up. It's just peace, and that's what we all want. We all want peace. Like life is hectic enough. I don't need to add drama into my life by forcing people to do things they don't want to do. Let them do what they want. Help them, assist them, but sometimes they gotta learn as well as you. You gotta learn too. You gotta learn that that's not your business. They're gonna be okay. Like especially if you instilled in them enough, they'll come back to you. It's we're gonna be okay. We're always gonna be okay. I say it every week, and every week we're gonna be okay. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Back in Baton Rouge, back in Louisiana, my home state. It's a blessing. Cannot wait to draft, obviously, this week. Cannot wait to see the young men fulfill their dreams and destinies. And then, the next task is at hand, moving forward. I love y'all. Y'all be blessed. Y'all continue doing what y'all love doing. Don't let anything or anyone distract you. Everything that you want in this world is ahead of you. And everything that you need to complete it is within you. You were created for this, and you're going to do your very best. Every day, just try to do what you can. And let the chips fall where they fall. Y'all be blessed.